Welcome back to the Book Bros. I'm one of the Book Bros. My name is Stefan. Today, for the translation novel review, we're going to be talking about The Legendary Mechanic, written by Ji Pei-jai. I don't know if I say that right. A quick synopsis of the novel: it's another isekai type novel. Our main character Hanjo finds himself inside the gaming world, as an NPC in this game a year before even the game is released. He's obviously, as an NPC, if he dies, and he has to battle his way through the evil organization on Aquamarine, the first planet, so he can even use the knowledge that he has of the gaming world that he had before getting transported or reborn into the world of the novel. The other cool thing is that the players still actually exist in this world, and when those updates happen, they disappear and go off to real world, and he's still living. So the jumps in the games that would sometimes happens in game updates, he's still there, he's still existing, and he's still going strong. The first 100 chapters, I think this novel is a fantastic novel. The way that it is written and this brings you into the story itself, the anxiety that he feels when he wakes up in the situation that he wakes up in the evil organization, probably be used as experiments. He doesn't know what's going to be going on, and he knows he just has to leave this organization to continue on what he wants to do later on and use his knowledge to get more powerful in this situation. Take some spoilers from here on out. Obviously, he does get out. It uses a couple chapters just to ramp up and show you what he knows and a bunch of information about the evil organization, and he's trying to figure out when the timeline that he's there, and even the history and everything that he can use to get out. He's a very resourceful main character. Hanjo is. He tricks his way out of and starts on Aquamarine, and he goes against the evil organization, obviously, as he knows what's going to be happening in the future. He knows what the organization is going to be doing to the planet, and the storyline along with it essentially just stops the storyline, as in like the game storyline, as when he realizes that the players actually exist and they come in, because he knows how they think, because he was a player himself. He uses that very heavily to his advantage. He gathers them all together in a mercenary group because of the way that the book is written. These NPCs actually exist. It's more like the players getting teleported into an actual world than it is into a game world. So these NPCs actually realize what's up with these players, or start to realize what's up with these players, that they're immortal, they can't die, that they're genderless, because some of the organizations actually capture them and do experiments on them. And it's absolutely fascinating reading this novel and getting this world and just thinking of like, what would I do in this situation if I had to randomly appear in this world. It's absolutely fascinating to see it from an NPC point of view, when an NPC is supposedly alive, and what you would think and hope that if the NPC or the game world actually existed, that these NPCs would think and react to either plays going on or situations going on in their own world. For the rating of this novel, the plot, 100% 5 stars. Like, I've never been into such a story that just drew me in, and just wanted to keep reading and reading more than The Legendary Mechanic. Just thinking of like all the game knowledge and everything that an NPC wouldn't actually know, that a player that looks into a player's view. It's like just getting that NPC side of things, if the world actually existed, is absolutely amazing. 5 stars, 100%. For any subplot that's going on, most of the time I find the subplot that's going on, it doesn't really exist. Maybe sometimes from the player's point of view, when the players are there, because Hanjo, the main character, brings in the players so much that he starts manipulating them and using them for his own XP and the gain money and stuff along those lines. That seeing it from even the player's point of view, that with Hanjo acting as an NPC when you know that he's an actual player, or used to be a player that revived into this world, it's absolutely amazing. I would give the subplots probably about 4. Sometimes you don't really care too much, especially if something exciting is going on. Getting getting the player's point of view or something along those lines is interesting, because it gives you more context of what's happening in the player's mind and like how the players think. But at the same time, it's it is what it is. I'd rather read more about Hanjo and what he's thinking, the process that he's going to go into. For the characters and the character development, I absolutely love it. I think it'd be another 4 stars, because Hanjo does grow, because obviously he was a player himself, so he knows what's happening. He knows the way that the game's going to go and the updates that are going to come happening. But with him starting the effect and the butterfly effect, essentially, of him being there and starting to change things because he knows what's going to happen, where he's aiming to do this one thing, is awesome. And the growth of his character. So definitely leader of a mercenary group, how he handles things, how he handles the players gets even more interesting and convoluted. And even the player growth, there's some of the players that were there from the very beginning as the beta players, their growth in like how they play the game, how they approach the game just by interacting with Hangzhou is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love all the characters in this, the characters and the main female leads and all along those lines, and even like the interactions between each character. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see what's happening along those lines. For the writing and like the editing, the grammar, the translation, this is essentially like very well translation, very well grammar. Editing is like spot on. You can tell this is again a translation that was done by a person, is definitely edited heavily, and the grammar just flows in English. I really enjoy how when it comes to the writing and grammar, it's very easy to read. There's no grammar errors and stuff like that. Sometimes translation can be a little thing, but like in English, you're gonna get that sometimes because some words don't exist in the English language. So it might be a little longer or shorter depending on situations. But a solid 4.5 to 5 in the grammar and translation. For foreshadowing and plot holes, again, because it's an isekai, because it is one that a gamer or the main character knows what's going to happen, that knows updates that might be happening or going to happen in the future, you can expect a lot of things that they're going to know and they're going to do. And so you can expect a little foreshadowing, and it's more not so much as like, oh, what's going to happen in the future, because it kind of tells you. It's going to be like, how does he do that, right? How does he get from point A to point B when he knows what's going to happen in the future? How is he going to handle it? How is he going to change what's going to happen from point A to point B? So the foreshadowing and plot holes, I haven't even there's not even very many plot holes. Every one, no, not even. Yeah, I can't even think about like any actual plot holes because like most of the time they're getting finished. They're not foreshadowing too heavily, maybe a little bit. Some time skips every once in a while because some of the updates in between updates for the players themselves is technically like 20 years at the most for a main character Hangzhou, so like that is just a whole nother thing. But like a solid 4.5 stars out of the foreshadowing and plot holes. The overall rating, I'd probably give it a 4.5 to 5 stars 100%. For the age range, it's not that explicit, so it could be for a younger age range if you really wanted to. If you're into that kind of sci-fi, fantasy, VR, MMO type stuff, like 13, 14, you can get into it, and then obviously up to adult. And it's like, because I'm an adult and I'm reading, and I absolutely love it. Some younger kids, like 13, 14, might not understand completely what's happening, because there are some nuances. So, give it a read. It's absolutely amazing. 4.5 to 5 stars, like I said. I absolutely love it. Like my friends absolutely love it. We all really enjoy this novel, and we just can't wait until he writes more in the way that it's going. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, maybe subscribe for more content along these lines. I have a buddy over there that does on another day. He does fan fiction. It's like, so if you want some fan fiction, go over there. We have a novel review once a month that we go into it together. So if you like this kind of content, think about subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.